Where is that shuttle going?
Shuttle to Durian. What is your cargo and destination?
I'm transporting Run to Christ to the Community Guidelines Department. YouTube.
Do they have a code clearance?
It's an older
channel,
but it checks out. I was about to clear them. Shall I hold them?
No. Leave them to me. I will deal with them myself.
Yes, folks, this is Run to Christ Live. We're back in business. I'd like to announce the launch of my new website, runtochrist.net. You can go there and check it out right now. You may be wondering what I've been doing for the past 2 years. Well, as you may know, in 2018, about halfway through the year, my channel got terminated. After that, they decided to kick me out of the partner program on my backup channel, and ever since then I've been trying to figure out a way to do my work without interference from YouTube. And so what we have now is our own website, which is absolutely fantastic. Now I can do what I want without anybody interfering. And I'd just like to say a big thank you to Badger Wise, who's in the chat. Thank you. Without you, this wouldn't have happened. So thank you very much, and God bless you. So guys, I'll give you a little tour around the website. You can see it here on your page. I wanted to make it look like the YouTube channel kinda, so I used the same sort of theme, you know, with a big main player and more videos underneath. You can use this button to subscribe to the website, and you can support the channel directly instead of going through Patreon or some other third party like YouTube or whatever. And so for the past 6 or 7 months I've been designing this and putting it together. It was pretty difficult because I honestly didn't know what I was doing, but I think the results are pretty good. As you can see, you know, nice big giant thumbnails for all the videos. And you can just click this button here and load more up, and they keep coming. And down the bottom you'll see I've got a blog as well, and you can just link to that, and we can go here up at the menu and you can see what blog posts I've made. Obviously the website's just started, so I've just got one at the moment, so there'll be more there to come. You can go there and read this. It's a pretty good article about the Enneagram. Don't know if you've heard of this, but everything you need to know about it is in this blog, so go check that out when you got a moment. And you can share this page, you can share the whole website on social media and whatever else. That will help get the word out that I'm back making YouTube videos now, and we're going to be doing it through this website most of the time. Like I said, it's terrible, the censorship on YouTube. They just don't let you have anything up, and so the best idea we came up with was to be somewhere else that they can't interfere. So on this videos page here, I'm going to have not only my own stuff but other YouTubers as well, and so you can check out other people's work here as well as myself, as well as my own ones. Right now we've got a channel called Rise. I'm sure you know who he is. Got a bunch of his videos in a playlist. You can just click on them and a player will expand up, and you can see it like this. It's nice and big, and you got all the info there on the side.
Wow, praise the Lord.
Right, so you can watch everything here and click through RSE's playlist, and you can use these buttons there, just give you a little guided tour. You got a share button if you want to put it all on social media and whatever. So it's all set up, ready to go, just like it's, you know, any other video website. It's great, it's absolutely fantastic. I've got Hour of the Truth here as well. If you haven't seen this channel, you should check it out. I've got about 50 of their videos on this playlist here. Mainly it's the secret history of the Jesuits, but I've got loads of stuff. Just please go check that out, it's great. And I've got a live stream page. Now obviously this is just the first live stream that I'm doing since I've came back, so there's nothing here at the moment. There will be after this show and in the following weeks to come. But the great thing about this is that I can live stream straight to this website. I don't need to worry about broadcasting to YouTube like we're doing now, and so it'll be free from, you know, YouTube deciding to cut the stream off if we're talking about things that they don't like and whatever else. So if you become a member, you can join up for free without, you know, subscribing to the website, where a subscription monthly or yearly. So you can see here, this is the members page, so everybody that's joined will be here. You can interact with each other. You can come and check out the Discord page where we've got a server on the go. It's like for the communities. You can come and hang out there, and there's a audio chat, and there's also text chat, and you can share files and things like that. It's all secure, it's all brilliant. I've been using this for a while, so you can come here and you can get an invite. You can just click connect and it'll take you to where you need to go. And another cool feature about the website is the archive. So if you were a patron of mine, you might have known this idea from a couple of years ago. So what I thought, as I do all this research and I make all these videos, you know, you come across a lot of files, a lot of PDFs, a lot of books, a lot of novels, a lot of scientific papers, history papers, all these kind of things. And I thought it'd be a great place to store all these files that you sort of collect while you're doing all this research, and so you guys can look at them as well. And you can, if you become a member, you can even upload your own if you have your own PDF files and things like that. So you can click enter to the archive and it'll come up with all the stuff. And I've got a lot of stuff up here right now, but I've honestly got so much stuff that I'm having trouble remembering what I've already put on and what I've still to put on. So it's still getting stuff added to it right now. So you can just, if you're a member, you can just click up upload file here and put your own stuff. If you want to put it in the categories that are already there, you can click on a category and just click add file and it'll add it automatically to that category. Or you can download and view them if you want to join. So that's a really great feature. Another feature that it's a way down the pipeline at the moment, it's a dream basically, you know, is to do this idea of soundtracks. Because as you know, being a YouTube content creator, your audio, your music is very important, because most of the time these days, if you're trying to use a song, it's more than likely copyrighted by somebody, and it's hard to get your videos out there, because if everybody is just copyright claiming your videos all the time, then you don't have much room for maneuver. And you can use the YouTube free soundtrack things, but a lot of the time it's just not what you're looking for type thing, if you know what I mean. So I had the idea, because I used to make music about 10 years ago for most of my life, and I had all the equipment and whatever else, but I had to get rid of it over the years. But the idea is to make soundtracks and sound effects and things like that are copyright free, so as that other creators, if they join the website and whatever, they can use the material there for their videos. I just thought that'd be a cool thing to do. But like I said, it's a dream that's down the pipeline. It's not there yet, but it's coming soon, hopefully. So, you know, you can, the great thing about this website is it just allows me to do pretty much whatever I want now. I can make posts and videos, and I don't need to worry about people claiming against my videos for using just like a one or 2 seconds. You know, it comes under fair use all the time. But YouTube normally ignore the fair use policies or the copyright laws regarding fair use. They ignore them, and whoever makes a claim against your video just basically overtakes your video. But it makes no difference for me now, because they've demonetized me, so it won't make much difference. But now over here I can do whatever I want. I can see the chat here. Hello AJ, how you doing? And there's Badger Wives, thanks for coming. Hello Sherry, there's Becky. Glad to see you all here. And there's Leela as well. Spirits are yours. Hello, welcome. Thanks for coming. So yeah, this is the website, and hopefully this is where things are going to really take off, and I can have some creative freedom to not worry about YouTube striking all the videos and taking it down all the time and harassing me every time I try and do something. Because I've got a video on here. I'll tell you about this. This was it's going way back now. If you remember the video that I did in 2016 about the BBC TV show called EastEnders. Yeah, well, if you remember that video, the video was at least 3 minutes at the beginning of the video was entirely footage from the TV show. And of course, so BBC put in a claim against the video saying, well, this is our stuff, you can't use it, blah, blah. But what I did was I counterclaimed and said to them that it's fair use because it's a transformative work. I'm taking what you've made and I'm making something new out of it. And obviously I had a whole story to tell by, decoding what they were trying to say in their TV show. And the thing is, they actually dropped the claim because they know I was right, because it is fair use and it is a transformative work. But YouTube don't always take that into consideration. But this time they did, so that video's up on YouTube and it has no copyright claims against it, and it's just a good example of how fair use is supposed to work. But often, what I'm saying is, YouTube don't often follow that, so. And a lot of the reason why they've said that they won't let me back into the partner program is because I reuse other people's content, apparently. But what they mean by that is like third party stuff that's already copyrighted, like a movie clip or something like that. But that's the reason why. But it doesn't matter now because I'm over here. So it's very exciting, and I'm so glad that this is happening. I can't wait to actually get started and just unleash the creativity. You can contact me as well. If you go to the contact page, you can there's a number of ways you can contact me. You can do it by email, or like I said, with the Discord server here. Facebook, I've got a Facebook page. You probably all know that anyway. There's a little Twitter link there if you've got a Twitter. And you can use this form here to directly ask me whatever about the website, or just get in touch. Fill in this form and click the verification and send it, and it'll come direct to the website and to me. So that would be really good to hear from you at some point. So like I said, you can join the mailing list here, and if you don't want to become a member of the site, you can still join this mailing list. And what that will enable you to do is to keep up with the new releases and what's happening on the website and what's happening on your YouTube channel and other places that I'm uploading videos and things like that. So you'll get notified by the website directly, rather than trying to rely on YouTube to notify all the subscribers. Because you can see, like, on the old channel I had about nearly 14,000 subscribers, so now it's a bit down because it's a backup channel and I haven't been active, so that's the way that's going to go. You don't really grow unless you're active, so now that I'm back, that should all change. So you can see in the channel here, there's a link to the website as well at the top right, so you can click on that to get there if you're hanging around the YouTube channel. And guys, don't forget to come across here on this community part of the YouTube channel, because this is quite a good feature for over on YouTube, but not a lot of people actually make use of it, especially on their own channels. Yeah, so you might be wondering what happened to those videos you were working on, like before you left. Well, you might remember I was doing the Khazar theory, and I was going to be doing a part 2 to that. So yeah, that is still on the cards, and since then I've actually still been researching the Khazar theory. Even though I've not been publishing any videos, I've still been researching this subject. It's so interesting, and I went really deep back into history to find the source of that theory. And it doesn't originate with who you might think, like Arthur Koestler, who wrote the book The 13th Tribe. it doesn't originate with him. And you saw in the first part that I took it way back to the time of Voltaire, but it actually goes way, way, way further back than that, really early, even before the time of the Khazars were an empire. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. And by the way, yeah, I've still got Patreon is still up and running. So you can see here, that's the latest post just telling you about the stream, the live stream. So Patreon is going to be still up and running, and if you want to support the channel through here, you can still do that rather than the website, because at the moment the website's running on PayPal payments. So if you've got a PayPal account, you can subscribe to the website here. But if you don't have a PayPal, you've only got a credit card, you can use Patreon for the minute. I am actually going to be setting the website up to accept, you know, debit cards and things like that, normal transactions like everybody else kind of thing. But it does run through PayPal at the moment, and you will have the option in the future to do yes, Michelle, run to Christ, the number 2, runtochrist.net. I'll give you the link here. Oh no, that's my YouTube channel link. Hold on. I'm just copying the link from Michelle. So yeah, guys, if you want to, you can go subscribe to the channel through the website. You can join the mailing list. You can become a member for free. And what I was going to do is I was going to actually give away a few memberships tonight. So if you want to go, I'm giving away at least 5 memberships. So if you want to go to the website and just stick your email in here, and I will select 5 people to get a 3-month membership for free, and you can hang around and check the site out. So that'll be good. Let me just get the link from Michelle. Somebody else has probably already go over it, but there you go. There you go, Michelle, the link is there. Brother Will, yes, I can add a link in the description. I'll do that, one moment. Yeah, it was actually a nightmare trying to get this set up tonight. I had quite a few setbacks, including I'd misplaced my headphones, and I had no idea where they were. Normally they're just in my desk drawers, but for some reason they went missing, and none of us could remember where they were. So we spent about half an hour ransacking the house for these headphones, and we're like, how can we miss these headphones, because they're massive. And eventually we pulled them out of the cupboard underneath a whole bunch of stuff, and they were all twisted and whatever, and you know, I had to rebend them and stuff. Becky says, where do we put our email? If you go to the homepage, Becky, and you scroll right down to the bottom, it will say join mailing list, so you can just stick it in there and click send. And yeah, where is it? It's right here, right down the bottom, see? So this is the homepage. You just scroll right down the bottom and you enter your email, and that'll you can join the mailing list, or you can join us on the mobile app. If you put your phone number in there, you can get an app. It's a third-party app through the hosts that do the website. It's called the Wix app, but what it acts like is a notification sort of communication app between the members of the website and whoever joins the app, and the Run to Christ community that we've got going on that app. You know, you can send messages and whatever else, and you'll get notifications straight to your phone. Your phone will ding whenever I put a video out. You get all the latest updates. So the other way you can do it is just become a member, and you can subscribe there, and we'll add you. Like I said, there's Patreon as well. What was that? Yeah, Brother Will, I think there should be a link in the description now. If you just refresh the page, you should see the link there. AJ says I'm going to have to do it after the video, and I'll have a phone. Yeah, the website does work on mobile. It should be all ready to go for viewing the website. It should be auto-tuned or whatever. You know how websites on your desktop are different from on the mobile phone. Yeah, but it should work on the mobile phone. Becky says done. Thank you. Well, thank you, Becky. Badger says just downloaded Wix, seems really useful so far, recommended. Yeah, it's pretty nifty, and it's good for me because it's like a mobile backdoor to the website, you know. And it's kind of handy for that, you know. So if, you know, especially if you're like me and you do a lot of research and things like that, you know, you can stay in touch and, you know, do things while you're on the move. So it's going to be really, really exciting. I'm actually so looking forward to getting started with all this. So what have you all been up to since I've been gone? What have you been doing? What have you heard in the news? You want to talk about anything? You want to ask any questions or whatever? Feel free. If you're wondering, just by the way, if you're wondering where the super chat function is, that's not there because, you know, they won't let me monetize the channel. So the super chat function just gone for me. They won't allow that. But like I said, you know, like the intro says, it's the phantom censor. You know, they're just they just censor you whenever they feel like it. They couldn't even give me a proper reason about why. So there you go. Yeah, Badger says, please hit the thumbs up like button, guys. Yep, sure. Jihad the like button. Yeah, it helps. It really does help promote the video by the algorithm, because it's all, you know, automated, you know. So if you, and I mean, even if you were to hit the dislike button, it still pushes the algorithm up because you're interacting with the video, you know. So yeah. So what I'll do is I'll play this, put the sound down so you can still hear me, but just to show you what you'll see when you hit play on the video. This is where I'll always have my latest work, you know, as you can see here, latest video. And this is actually an old video, but it's been removed from YouTube, and in fact the original cut was never seen on YouTube because I kept having to alter it somehow to get it past the censors that would you know, auto detect copyright claims and things like that from little clips that I've used. And the main reason why this video was getting censored is because I used a lot of footage from a Channel 4 documentary. I don't know if you're American. Channel 4 in the UK is they make a lot of documentaries and things like that, but sometimes they'll make documentaries for people who live in a different country. So this particular documentary about Wicca was only, play the intro again, says Georgina. Yeah, I can do that. Well, you want me to be quiet then? I'll play the intro. Will Redden says, are you excited for Brexit? Yeah, I'm totally excited because for the past 4 years I've been saying about Brexit, you know, and with my Tarshish videos about Great Britain being Tarshish and Ezekiel 38, as you'll probably know if you've watched that. Well, I think you have. Yeah, so for 4 years I've been really excited about Brexit, and everybody else was losing their minds about Brexit because they were thinking, is it ever going to happen? And, you know, half the nation was basically against it and campaigning against Brexit, weren't they? So, and I was just sitting there going, well, don't worry guys, because I know the outcome's going to be us leaving Europe. Because, you know, for Ezekiel 38, Tarshish has to be separate from the EU conglomerate invaders that try and take a spoil from Israel, you know. And so, oh well, Georgina says play the intro again. Okay, I'll play the intro again. Wait a minute. See, this is why I need 2 monitors. I've only got 1 monitor and there's so many windows open, it's like... Right, I'll pause that, the intro. I don't know if any of you guys seen the intro, but the intro's pretty cool. There you go.
Where is that shuttle going?
Shuttle to Durian. What is your cargo and destination?
I'm transporting WannaCries to the Community Guidelines Department. YouTube.
Do they have a code clearance?
It's an older
channels.
but it checks out. I was about to clear them. Shall I hold them?
No. Leave them to me. I will deal with them myself.
That's really good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I will deal with them myself. Yes. I'm getting transported to the Community Guidelines Department for re-education. I've got Darth Google on my case. AJ says, what's up with the pyramid at the beginning of the intro? Well, I just put that in there to freak everybody out, AJ. Nah, I'm kidding. It's actually just I don't know if you're aware of the term, but when I switch scenes on this live stream, I've got the software and you can set up your streams to have different things on it. Yeah. And when it transitions from scene to scene, it uses a demo transition called a stinger. It's like a TV broadcast term. Don't ask me where it comes from, but so when I click the scene button, it does this little graphic to sort of fade into the next scene. I can do custom ones. I did have a custom one set up, but I don't know where all the images for it have went. Like I said, this is the first time I've used the software again, and it was so much headaches about a couple of hours ago to try and get all this to get it all running again. It was a bit of a headache. But yeah, in the future I'll probably, make my own custom stinger transitions, because they're really cool, right? I mean, you can pretty much do anything, and by watching my videos, you saw like the different titles that I do, like the Stranger Things titles that I copied, and so I can do some pretty neat tricks with the software that I've got. If you're interested in knowing which software I got, I use Vegas Pro, and I've got quite a lot of extra plugins for it for doing titles and things like that. But yeah, just on that note, Vegas Pro, they've brought out a new set of softwares that's like a rival to Adobe. I don't know if you're into all this, but Adobe do an editing software called Premiere that a lot of people use on YouTube, and then they've also got software called After Effects, where you can do all sorts of fancy motion graphics and things like that. But so Vegas is like the rival to Adobe. It's like the cheaper version, but it's certainly not, inferior. It is pretty professional and it's really good. So they've just brought out Vegas Post, which is their answer to Adobe After Effects and things like that. And basically with this thing, if you had the budget and a camera and actors, you could make, Hollywood style effects on your video, and you could make movies with it basically. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, like on the website here, you can show comments. It doesn't seem to be showing them now. So you can share it as well, so you can pick your favourite social media thing. You can copy the link and so on. You can embed it, if you're I don't know if you hang around in forums or whatever like that, you can use this embed code and you can embed the video in your forum. I don't know why the comments aren't popping up, but yeah. So you can see here, like, this is the information section, and it looks I think it looks great, this, you can just, it looks a bit more stylish than YouTube, But down here, you can download the videos. Most of them will be set to download, especially if you're a member. You'll be able to get HD downloads of all the releases, so you can just click on that and you can get the HD file for yourself, which should be great. You can start your own little collection or whatever. So I'll show you what it's like when you click on one of these videos down here, because it pops up into a different player. Let's show you this. I'll show you this. I don't know if you remember this, but it's Mankind Has Expired, right? I mean, funny title. The future is transhuman. we won't play the sound, but there's a bit I wanted to show you in it, because I was watching this the other day, just setting things up on the website, and it auto-played, so I just watched it again, and it started talking about viruses, and then the thing that it showed on screen, it was quite, yeah, here it's here. Yeah, there's the footage is from a game called Deus Ex or something like that. I think it's and it's got a lot of Illuminati, you know, symbolism in it, and it even directly references the Illuminati in the game, I think. But you can see here they're showing you some graphics, and it says "Stop playing God," right? So I'll play it for here with the sound up so you can hear it.
They play their game.
What's happening is unnatural. They were playing God.
Yeah, so coming back here a bit, I'll rewind.
Augmented received implanted technology designed to control them by the shadowy Illuminati.
They've worked from the shadows for years, shaping the future, manipulating lives, controlling
So there you saw the all seeing eye, and this is from the game, and listen to the things that he's saying, you know.
information. Innocents have died as they play their game.
Happening is unnatural. They were playing God, but people were scared of electricity. And where would the world be without
What
that?
happens if this technology falls into the wrong hands?
Diseases or viruses that could wipe out the human race.
The Illuminati.
Whoa, did you get that? Look, check it out.
This
This is
technology
weird.
falls into the wrong hands.
Diseases or
Diseases that could wipe out mankind, and then what does it show you? I mean, what does that look like? It looks like the coronavirus, doesn't it? It just looks like the coronavirus.
viruses that
Yeah.
could wipe out the human race.
The Illuminati.
So that's kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, I put that video out in 2017 and re-uploaded it in 2018, and I retitled it "Mankind Has Expired," and in the video it's talking about mankind being wiped out by a virus, which just coincidentally looks like the coronavirus, doesn't it, with the little spiky things, you know? So yeah, I just thought I'd say that, 'cause that's just weird. Oh, thanks, Basha. Yeah, I remember this video. I quite like it, you know. It's like there is a few epic videos in the collection, you know. AJ says, "Wow, yeah, wow, damn right, innit? Like seriously, what a thing to be on the video." And I was just going over it again for the sake of it, you know. Yay, I'm back, Tesla. Tesla la, hiya, how's it going? So yeah, if you're just coming here, this is the website launch live stream. If you want to go check out the new website, it's runtochrist.net. And there's the link if you want to go check it out. And by the way, if you go, I'll tell you again, a lot of people just came in. If you go to the homepage and you stick your email, scroll down the bottom, stick your email and join the mailing list. I'll pick 5 guys just at random or whatever, and you'll get a 3-month membership to the website, so you can come and hang out and check it out and whatever and see what you think. So you can do that, join the mailing list. If not, you can come and, if you want to support the channel directly, you can hit that subscribe button there and you can become a member of the site. You can become a member for free, you don't need to subscribe, but if you do want to support the channel, you can click that big red button and support the channel on a monthly or yearly basis. It's entirely up to yourselves. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming. Badger says you put out a few epic videos, I'd say. Yeah, more than a few. Yeah, I did probably, I think it was nearly 30 mini documentaries. They're probably my best videos, I would say. Hello from Australia, how you doing? Hello from England, even though I'm Scottish. Yeah. I've been living down here for, I can't even remember. Since like 2006, I think, something like that. But before that I was up and down between London and Glasgow quite a lot. Because my parents, they lived down here from my like high school days, from when I was 16. And that is ages ago, you know. Always Serving says, good to see you back. I've already signed up for your mailing list. Thanks for your continued hard work in the kingdom of Godspeed. Well, thanks, Always Serving. God bless you. Thanks for signing up to the mailing list. You'll be in with a chance of getting a free membership. So thank you for that. Yeah, so it's great. How long have we been going now? 41 minutes. If guys, if you get any questions or whatever you want to ask me, just feel free while I'm gabbing away, you know. Thanks, Will. None have ever been a disappointment. It's glad to hear. Thank you. I do make an effort. But yeah, so thanks all for coming. You can check out the website. Bookmark it, guys. Don't forget, bookmark it. And you know, share it on your social media places. Let people know that I'm back, because I think a lot of people just don't know where I went or whatever, you know, because I've not been acting. Right, hold on a sec. I'm gonna go and
fictitious.
right, I'm going to play a wee clip of this video, and I'll be back in a couple minutes, guys.
Purely fictitious, or is there some truth in it? Some truth. 100% truth. There is nothing fictitious about black magic, in any way whatever. It is a fact. It is a fact which has existed for several thousand years. I mean, when we talk about black magic, we are talking about Satanism, necromancy, alchemy, witchcraft, the worship of Satan, the worship of dark forces, whether it's voodoo, juju, whether it's something practiced in the Western world or the Eastern world, whether it's easily defined or not easily defined, the order of the left-hand path, the following of this, the following of that. It is basically the worship of the force of evil as embodied by Satan, Lucifer, the princes of darkness and their legions and so on. In a very simple sense, of course, it goes much more deeply than that. It is a fact. It is a desperately dangerous fact. It does exist. It exists around us today. Satanic ceremonies will be happening in Britain tonight. Very definitely. Ask any priest, ask any member of the forces of law and order, and they will tell you that Satanism as such, it's there, and it has been for thousands of years.
Wicca, a modern pagan religion with spiritual roots in the earliest expressions of reverence for nature. Some major identifying motifs are reverence for both the goddess and god, acceptance of reincarnation and magic, ritual observance of astronomical and agricultural phenomena, and the use of magical circles for ritual purposes.
Witches, who held the devil's name for centuries, now refute Satanism with a passion, employing it at the other side of the fence, which they are most certainly not.
Well, guys, I'm back now. Thanks for hanging around. Sorry about that. Just need to take a quick break. What's going on in the chat? Badger Wise says, better yet, put the Wix app on your phone so you can instantly access the site. Yeah, it is pretty good for that. Tesla says, signed up. Yay. Well, thanks for that. Thanks for that, Tess. God bless you. I was concerned. Brother Will says, I was concerned given how many have had a bad experience with YouTube. Yeah, I know there's a lot of channels that have been, you know, taken out and things like that. I don't know if they've all came back and made alternative channels or websites and things like that. They probably should, you know. Have some coffee. Yeah. So your website looks good. Yeah, I think it looks good as well. You know. It did take me a while though. It was kind of mind-boggling at first, but it was made easier by the fact that it was like, what do you call it? One of them website editor things. But you know, so you don't need to know how to code websites using that. But it was still a bit complicated in some areas, you know, because you had to figure out what to add and what not to add and how to do it, and you know, all this, add images, and you know, yeah, it took a while. Excuse me. So if any are new, maybe I should share a wee bit of a testimony before. I don't know if you've ever heard anything from that from me. Maybe you're new here, but yeah, so how did it all start? It started generally around 9/11. A lot of people say that as well, that something happened 9/11 and things changed from then on in, and that was certainly the case for me. And at the time I was a music producer. I did DJing and I produced music. I went to college for audio engineering. I did a degree in audio engineering, and basically my whole life was like, you know, write music, take drugs and all that sort of stuff, you know. And then I started getting into conspiracy theories when 9/11 happened, because, you know, I was just like, this is just weird. 9/11, it just didn't seem right. And so I started looking into things and looking up conspiracy theories regarding 9/11, and it went from there. I moved through just about every conspiracy theory you can ever think of, basically. And of course, at the time I wasn't Christian, so most of the conspiracy theories that I was looking up, you know, at first it never had anything to do with the Bible or things like that, you know. And but eventually it got it got dragged that way, because I started watching videos on Freemasons, you know. I was kind of curious to what they were saying and what they were all about. And I came across this video, and it was basically Freemasonic satanic ritual or initiation ceremony. That's something what the title was like, if I remember right. And I watched it, and I was, you know, I wasn't questioning at the time, so I basically made a bunch of comments saying that, why has everything got to be about Satan? You know, like, what, you know? Because to me, Freemasons were just like a bunch of old guys that sit in a club type pub type thing, you know, and, you know, they get together and they do their business or whatever. I don't know. To me, it seemed like an old man's social club, you know, because yeah, that's what it seemed like. And so when this guy was making this video, and he said, this says lol, yeah. So he made this video, and it was about Freemasons, you know, the ritual initiations and stuff like that, you know. And he was like, no, it really is at the highest level. It's all about Satan. And I said to the guy, well, my great grandfather, I got told this when I was 21. I was in a pub, and I asked my dad about who my grandfather was and stuff like that, and he started saying all these stories, and he was like, well, your great grandfather was a Grand Master Freemason. And I was like, alright. And then my grandfather was something to do with the Orange Lodge, and he might have been a Freemason as well. And apparently he asked my dad to join. He says, yo, you should join and see what it's like. And my dad was like, why? What do you do exactly? What do the Freemasons do? And apparently my grandfather says, I can't tell you, but you should join and find out. And my dad was like, I'm not joining something that I don't know what it is. So he didn't join, and then he told me this story, you know, when I was 21 in a pub. And because of that conversation, when I came across these Freemason videos, and I spoke to that guy who made this video about the ritual initiations, and I says, well, I don't think my great grandfather was a Satanist. I mean, I never met him, but I don't think he was a Satanist. And the guy says, I don't think he was either, because he was probably not, don't take this the wrong way, but he wasn't like, you know, a high class society guy, you know. He wasn't like rolling in the money, so to speak. He was just a working class Glaswegian, basically. And so what this guy was saying was that in order to be up at the highest rankings in Freemasonry, you need to have a lot of money. And it makes sense, you know. It makes sense that you need to have a lot of money for that stuff. I mean, if you look at Scientology, they have the same kind of degrees as Freemasonry. I mean, the names are different and whatever, but in Scientology, at least anyway, you got to have a lot of money, because you got to purchase your way up the degrees. Now, I don't know if that's exactly the same in Freemasonry, but that's what the guy said. He says, if you want to be real high up, you need to be kind of rolling in the money. And obviously my great-grandfather wasn't, because he was just a working class guy from Glasgow. So what happened after that is he challenged me to basically research Freemasonry and try and prove him wrong in what he's saying. And I don't know what it was about the comment, but it just made me go and research a whole bunch of stuff to do it. And naturally, because a lot of Freemasonry is basically, it's like the Freemasons like take the Bible and they take these phrases and verses of scripture out of the Bible, and they base their whole philosophies around these things in the Bible. You know, like for example, Joachim and Boaz and the Solomon's Temple. That's all obviously in the Bible, right? So everything they do is basically related to the Bible in some sort of distorted way, you know? And because of that, I eventually started looking at topics related to the Bible. And eventually it took me down this path of like, it was like, you know, when you watch a movie and you don't know what you're expecting, but within 20 minutes you're kind of like into it and you're dying to know what happens next in the story. Well, that's what it was kind of like when I started looking into the Bible. I was dying to know more about it, because it was like an interesting movie that had this story, and I was like, because I mean, obviously I was aware of what the Bible was before then, you know what I mean, but I wasn't knowledgeable about it, I would say. When I was younger, I went to things like, you know, the Boys Brigade, which is kind of like the Scouts or something. I don't know, yeah. But it's more like a military parade kind of thing. I don't know, we were all doing things like marching and crazy patterns, and there'd be a lot of gymnastics and sports involved, you know. AJ says Hiram Abiff, yeah, that's in the Bible. That name, he's just this really small one-mentioned character, isn't he? He's not even talked about that much, but the Freemasons take that one guy and they make a whole philosophy around him that he's something to do with the resurrection as well, isn't it? So, but yeah. So I started getting into the Bible, and I started to think that I could, you know, learn about the Bible to sort of like disprove what this guy was saying about the Freemasons being satanic or whatever, you know. I mean, not that I had any interest in proving that the Freemasons weren't satanic exactly, but it was more to do with like, oh, it can't be real, you know, Satan ain't real, God's not real, and all that stuff, you know. It was more to do with like an atheist worldview than anything else. But of course, it drew me in, and it kept drawing me in, and eventually I was just like looking at the evidence that Christians were presenting against what would be called scientific atheism and the theory of evolution, things like that. And what I was basically experiencing was the crumbling of my worldview, you know. So I mean, it started off like atheists, and the more evidence, the more historical evidence that I started uncovering about how the Bible's actually, it is historically reliable, you know. And these sort of things blew my mind, and I started watching Christian debates and things like that, and you know, the scientists didn't have the answers to the questions that the Christian guys were raising, and I was sitting there going like, come on, go answer this Christian guy, you know, like, and they just like total flumped their answers, you know, and they'd say things like, you know, in defense of evolution, we don't need the fossils to prove evolution. And I was like, well, yeah, you do, because that's what you're saying, that these things were millions of years ago, and you are that's, you know, the fossils are what you're basing evolution on, you know. You pull out these fossils that are in rock layers, and then you date the fossils by the rock layers, and then the rock layers are dated by the fossils that you find in them. And I started to, you know, when they presented that to me, I was like, well, that's completely bogus circular reasoning, you know. But that's actually how they date fossils. I don't know if you know that, but that's how they do it. They date the fossils by what layers of rock they presuppose are millions of years old, and then they date the rocks by the fossils that they find in them. I'm not joking. So I found that entirely absurd, and of course nobody in school, when I was at school and college and things like that, they don't tell you this, you know. It's just like evolution's just like accepted as if it's like, you know, the sky is blue, you know. That's the level of, like, you know, you don't get that sort of critical response to evolution. Everybody just kind of accepts it when you're in school, and you don't get told these things like how to date the fossils exactly, you know. And if you did, you weren't listening, because if you did listen, you would think it was a lot of rubbish. And so my worldview just kept crumbling piece by piece, and I was just like, wow, I need to find out who Jesus is, you know, because it was all starting to make sense. Like, it was something that was completely unbelievable before was so believable after that, after finding out that these things were actually historically happened, you know. And like, because nobody tells you about the historicity of Jesus Christ and how he's an actual historical figure and all the evidence for it. They don't tell you that when they're in school. They don't point out all these things, because if they did, there'd probably be a lot more people still and believing in the faith, you know. There'd be a lot more people, especially like growing up, you know, when you're in high school. That's the perfect age to start telling people about the historical reliability of the New Testament, and the fact that Jesus was an actual real person that died on the cross and was risen again, you know. But they don't tell you that. And finding out all this stuff was like mind blown to me, you know, mind blown. And I just went on this epic, nearly, what is it now? It's nearly almost been 15 years or something since I started this sort of research trail. And after about 3 years into doing it and questioning my worldview, I was like, I've got no choice. I need to believe the Bible. And I started telling people that were close to me, that were, you know, they were like my music making partners, you know. We were all music producers, and we all hang around in my brother's house, which was basically a makeshift studio, you know. And in the kitchen, instead of pots and pans and stuff like that, we had turntables and synthesizers and microphones and subwoofers and speakers and everything that you could, you know, possibly need for music creation. We had that in my brother's kitchen. And so a bunch of musicians would always come in to either make music or rap over the top of it, because we knew a lot of people who were rappers, and this was in Cambridge in the UK. So big shout out to Cambridge if anybody's for Cambridge, I don't know. But yeah, so these guys would come in and would start, because they were into kind of conspiracy theories and whatever else, you know. They'd sit and listen to a YouTube video, or, you know, a movie that was kind of like, I don't know, what do you call that movie? Something Treasure with Nicolas Cage. That's kind of like a conspiracy film, innit? I can't remember the name, but anyway, they were into that kind of stuff. And so it's not like unheard of to sit and bring this topic up. So I started talking about things like what was going on in the world, and how, you know, these wars were happening here and there and whatever else. And I started pulling out the Bible, and I started reading scripture from the Bible, and these guys were like, oh, wondering what I was doing. And I started telling them some scriptures about Antichrist and things like that, and how the Antichrist is going to rise up from a certain nation and all the rest. National Treasure, that's it. Will Redden says National Treasure. AJ, National Treasure. Yeah, Becky, yeah, you've all got it. That's the one. So yeah, I started bringing up Antichrist and things like that, and I think it was during the time Obama was president, I'm sure. Maybe his first term or something like that. And his name got brought up, and I mentioned how in Hebrew his name's like lightning or something like that, innit? Barack Obama. And that blew their minds. They were like, whoa. And I showed them the verse about Satan being beheld as lightning, you know. And they were like, wow, so that blew their minds, and they were like, do you think there's anything to this? They were like, do you think there's anything real about this? And I was like, yeah, I've been studying this, pointing to the Bible. I've been studying this thing for like at least a few years now. I was saying to them, and I'm like, I'm starting to believe that all this is true, you know. And they were like, whoa. And it just went from there. And a few years later, I moved away from there. And 2010 is when I first started properly, like, I believe in Jesus. I believe God is real. And through evolution and pseudoscience in the bin, you know, you need to make that distinction. Hey, alright, Rise, how you doing, brother Dave? Good to see you in the chat there, mate. Check out the website, bro. Yeah, good to see you, bro. Yeah, my testimony, so basically I said to these guys, look, I think I believe in this. I threw away things like pseudoscience, because like I said, you need to make that distinction, you know. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I did a degree in audio and engineering, so I was very scientifically minded, you know. And the guy who was my main music partner for years, a guy called William Feek, me and him we'd known each other since we were like young boys, you know, just on the cusp of teenage years. And then me and him used to always have conversations about science and quantum physics and things like that. And he went to university in Strathclyde, which is, it's in Glasgow, but the region's called Strathclyde. So they have a university in Glasgow called Strathclyde University, and he went there and studied laser physics. And he was a DJ and things like that as well. And basically, because he was a student, we threw parties, DJing parties and all the rest of it, you know. This was going years back now. We'd make music together, and we'd always have scientific conversations and philosophical conversations. And, you know, for fun, I used to have quantum physics, university grade quantum physics books on my bookshelf to read for a laugh. That's what I was like. And people used to look at me like, I thought you did music. I thought you were doing music at college, you know. I was like, I just read that for fun, you know. Like, you read quantum physics books for fun? I'm like, yeah, I'm weird like that, you know. It's true though, it was so thick as well. It was like, surprised it never broke the shelf. But anyway, that's what I mean when I say I got rid of pseudoscience, you know, things like evolution, which is just, there's no actual proper observational scientific data, you know, for that. I know a lot of microbiologists would probably disagree with that, but at the end of the day, a bacteria changing into another bacteria is just another bacteria, isn't it? It's not really evolved into anything other than a new form of the bacteria that it once was. But yeah, anyway, I was into science. But yeah, the thing is, like, you think you're smart when you're an atheist, but you're not. And when you start learning all this stuff in the Bible, you start studying God's word, I'm not joking, you become smarter. You really do. And of course, you get mocked by people that are sitting on the other side being atheists, thinking they're the intellectual, you know, groundbreaking ones that are so open-minded and whatever. But yeah, it's that's kind of bits and bobs in my testimony. After that, I moved away from Cambridge and I came to where I am now in Kent, and I met Georgina, and we've had 3 kids since then. I don't know if you know this. You might not know this actually, because I've been away in it. Unless you've keep up with me on Facebook, I had a son last year. Yeah, in 2018, I named him Isaiah. So yeah, you should see him. I'll update his on, give you a couple pictures on the social media somewhere and whatever else. But yeah, I had a son last year, so well, not last year, 2018. He's nearly 2 already. But yeah, that's part of the reason why I haven't been able to make videos, because unlike Eden, my middle daughter, she used to sleep through me making all the videos like a log. So during the years 2015, 2016 and 2017, she'd just sleep through everything. And when we had Isaiah in June 2018, he just pretty much wakes up at anything, you know. And right now, for the live stream tonight, we put him upstairs with his big brother in his big brother's room, so he's up there sleeping away, so he doesn't get woken up by me talking. So yeah, guys, I'm just checking out the chat again. Yeah, see RSE's in there talking of bacteria. What is this about? China pestilence? Do you think it will be a big pandemic? I think it's already a pandemic, bro. That's what I think. I mean, let me just pause this. I've just been playing that here, so there's something, you know, moving, you know, whatever. You get bored. But if you go to my Twitter, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, by the way. Follow me on Twitter. It's Run to Christ at Sky is Blue, and I have no idea why my name is Sky is Blue 2 on there. I don't remember. But anyway, it's Sky IZ Blue 2, you know, just to make things complicated for you. But if you go on Twitter and you type in coronavirus and get all the latest info, some of the stuff that you'll find that's been leaked out is just insane. Like, I mean, you've got this guy here who's talks about the disease, his experience with the disease. He's actually a doctor, and this is the thing as well, guys. Like, you've got doctors and medical staff that are catching this at a very, very high rate, because obviously they need to be in close contact with the people that are sick, you know, and so they're catching it, and so the medical staff are getting sick. So there's no medical staff. There's a medical staff shortage because people are getting sick from this. Always serving, but I'm not in Wuhan to know for sure. Lots of speculation is good. I think to be prepared for anything and everything, getting right with your share is vital, I think. Amen. That's right. But yeah, we're not, like you said, we're not in Wuhan, so we don't know for sure, but you can go online. Twitter's a good place to get some of the Georgina says Twitter was set up by me. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know why he called Sky is Blue, but yeah, always serving. Yeah, so speculation, there is a lot of speculation. There's a lot of disinfo going around as well, so I'd give you a little warning on that, because you do need to be careful. If you scroll down here, look, check this out. I don't know if you can read that because it's really bad quality, but if you go over to the Twitter page, you'll be able to read this. This is about a thriller novel called Eyes of Darkness, and it described a biochemical weapon called Wuhan 400. Yeah, Wuhan 400. How about that? I mean, it's just a coincidence, you know. So yeah, there's that. Predictive programming. Who knows? It's funny how it's called Wuhan 400, though. That is funny. Or maybe it's not funny, but yeah. Check out some of these tweets that I've posted, because, I mean, if you look at this one here where you got the shop, they've all got plastic film round the counters, so that, you know, you got to put your stuff through this little box. You got to put your money in there, and you get your goods. It's all blocked off with plastic. See, now, and I don't know if you can see the writing here. I'll make it bigger. I put the tweet, I said, "Internet, don't worry, the flu kills more people every year." And then me, when was the last time your local shops did this when winter rolls round? And it's true, there's that thing that's going round. Oh, it's no more worse than the flu. It's like, well, when the flu comes at winter, you don't see people doing this in their shops, do you? Nah, it's like honestly, we roll the red carpet out for the flu. Nobody actually cares about the flu, really. But yet, you see what they're doing in China, the lengths that they're going to. Always Serving says there's a patent on it though too. Yeah, there's probably a patent on it because these companies, you know, they get the virus, they analyse it, and then they patent what they've found. I don't know why they would do that, but it is suspicious. AJ says no weapon formed against us will prosper. Yeah, well, you think it might be a bioweapon, AJ? You might be right, because I've heard some things about this that seem really suspicious. Things like there's a chain, RNA chain of HIV in the middle of the genetic code. Do you call it code? I can't remember. But yeah, you know how DNA and RNA, they've all got specific letters, and they've got a chain of letters, and that makes up whatever, you know, species you are, or a virus or whatever else. But yeah, the coronavirus 2019, it has a chain. Apparently this is from a PhD doctor in China. You can check out, what was the website? The website was called Epoch Times. So if you go on there, Epoch Times, you may even find it on my Twitter page if you just scroll down, but Epoch Times did an article on how this PhD guy had wrote a paper, and the coronavirus has a HIV RNA chain in the middle of it, and the way he says it's in the middle of it, and the only thing that he can conclude is that genetic CRISPR technology was used to insert these genetic lines of RNA of HIV. And the theory is that the coronavirus, because of that, it attacks your immune system in a similar way that the HIV virus does. You know, it gets in the cell and then it destroys the immune cells. But I don't know if that's true, but it was from a PhD scientific paper that's currently being revised to answer objections that the rest of the scientific community might have had, or questions, you know. But check out the Epoch Times and see if you can find that article. I'm sure if you type in just Epoch Times HIV coronavirus, you will probably see it. Will says, making me wash my hands more than usual. Yeah, well, that's the thing. They say it can stay contagious on surfaces and things like that for like 9 days apparently. Rise says, isolation for the virus now in Milton Keynes, UK. Yeah, I remember you were saying earlier, bro. Some of the British citizens from Wuhan have been brought back to the UK. Apparently they're in Milton Keynes. That's not too far away. That's not too far away from here, from Kent. Excuse me. With all the toxins around us these days, shaking my head. Maybe I'm getting older, but I prefer just staying at home more and more, like my granny used to say, and that was 30 years ago. Yeah. Well, my granny always used to tell me to get it, you know, like go play. So she would, you know, and then she'd shout, just remember and be back for dinner, you know. But yeah, it's quite a worry. I don't know what else you've seen on this coronavirus, but like I said, there's loads of stuff on Twitter. I've seen people being dragged, kicking and screaming into a van because they're to be quarantined and they don't want to be quarantined and things like that, you know. Restaurants as well are having trouble. Basically everywhere is having... Oh yeah, this is one that I wanted to show you. Oh, here we go. There's the Epoch Times. So I'll copy this and put it in the chat in case you want to actually check that article out. I don't know if you've got Twitter. If you haven't, get Twitter and follow me, because I post a lot of different kind of stuff on there, you know, things that are going on. Post objections to common memes that are going around, you know, things that are disinfo, things like that. Because I've been a debunker since the start, and I like debunking stuff. But yeah, you can check out that Epoch Times. they might have an update on there as well. It only Becky says it takes 15 seconds to get infected. Yeah, I heard it was even faster than that. I heard some nurse was, you know, in the room for just like a couple seconds and caught the virus. Becky just followed me. Thanks, Becky. Will Redden says, I live in a rural area. I'm sure urban areas on high alert. Yeah, probably, most definitely. One of the concerns in China is that it's spreading north into the north of China, and the problem with that is that the north of China doesn't have the sort of, like you say, if you were in an urban area, well-developed cities, you would have all the medical staff and hospitals there, but in the north of China, that's pretty much where the sort of rural communities are, you know. They don't have a lot of high-end hospitals and things like that, and so if the virus breaks out up there, it's going to be, I guess it's more risky for vulnerable people. Yeah, it is more risky for vulnerable people. And these people that are in the north of China, they are more vulnerable because, like I say, they don't have the hospitals like they do more south, you know, because Wuhan's right in the centre of China, and you got Beijing up to the sort of more east, and Shanghai's like directly east in it. Beijing's more north, but you go the other way, you know, sort of northwest, and you're getting into territory where the Chinese people, you know, live kind of more traditional kind of lives and less sort of westernized cities, you know. But this is one thing that I wanted to talk about. This image here was going round. Hopefully you can see that all right. So this image was going round, and people were getting a bit like panicky because what you're seeing here in the red is the leaked information. Apparently this was leaked from a Chinese news website. I think it was called Tencent or something. So this is infected 154,000, which is way higher than what it's reported to now. I think the last report I saw, it was about 30,000 people infected. I think that was suspected infections. And this here, the grey, this is deaths. So this alleged leak was saying that there was 24,000 people dead. Now if you compare that to the reports that we're getting today, it was about 800 deaths, and now that's surpassed the SARS virus. But obviously if you're going to be saying that it's 24,000, that's a lot more than 800, isn't it? And it was making people worry. And so I saw a guy suggest that this image might be photoshopped, and if you've watched my channel before, you know I like picking out photoshopped faked images and things like that. So I went and tested this image, and you can see here the JPEG was last saved at 75% quality. So what that basically means is that it's quite close to the source, the original file that was created. Okay, because when you take an image off the internet and then you save it on your computer, it compresses it, and the image quality will go down each time you save it because of the compression. And then if you share that image in an email, say, then and your mate downloads it at the other end, that's another save, and so it will further reduce the quality. So when you see this 95% quality, you can be fairly sure that this is really close to the original image, right? And why does that make a difference? Well, once you've altered it, once you've did some Photoshop to it, you know, you're saving it again and again, so it's going to be, you know, lower than 100% quite significantly. And so I saw this Zero Hedge website, zerohedge.com, had posted this image, you know. So I took it from his website to test it, and then I found a second source, independent from Zero Hedge, and it was the second source that was 95%, and that's important. Zero Hedge's image was, as you can see here, 75% quality, which means it's been saved a few more times since the original file was made. And when you go into this Photoshop, when you go onto photoforensics.com, I think it's called, and you can test any image to see if it's been photoshopped. Now you have to get yourself familiar with how you can tell that it's photoshopped, because sometimes the metadata is not present. So you see here, I'll click on this image. This analysis was from the zerohedge.com website. And no, sorry, I'm getting mixed up. That was from the second source, the 95%. This is what it says. So you can see here that Photoshop was used to last save the 95% image. Okay, so when you put those two facts together, the 95%, which is close to the original file, then it was saved on Photoshop, then it was put on the internet, then I downloaded it, say, and then it's 95% quality. So the metadata is telling you that the image was last saved with Photoshop, which means it's been edited. Okay, now Zero Hedge's image had no metadata indicating that it was a photoshopped save, you know. So what's the likely scenario here is that whoever it is that works at zerohedge.com took this image off the internet, probably via a screen grab, you know, you can just print screen, and then he saved it, and that would remove his image, that would remove the metadata, just because he's just took a snapshot of his screen, and then, you know, the metadata is gone because it's entirely new image that he's created. Okay, I'm not saying that zerohedge.com created the Photoshop image. I'm saying that he took a screen grab and then posted the image to his website and ran a story about how this was the leaked numbers, you know, and as if it was true. But as you can see, the original image has been photoshopped, because it was last saved by Photoshop. So these numbers are unreliable. You can't trust them, and you certainly can't verify any scientific models that have projected the number of deaths and infections done by some scientists, I believe. So, you know, you got to watch out what you're seeing on the internet when it comes to this coronavirus stuff, because it's you get a lot of disinfo, and some people don't check what they're posting and what they're repeating, you know. But I went and checked, and this image is bogus, so I'll just tell you that right now in case you see it anywhere else. So what we can do now is go back to, where's my profile? So you get any other questions, guys, or anything like that, you know? How's the chat doing? What do we think will be the next phase of this agenda? Will it push the mandatory vaccines? Didn't they already push the vaccine through? I don't think they've pushed the vaccine through, but I think there's a number of people that are saying they're attempting to make one. Hold on, I need to change. Yeah, I've changed that. I'm just checking. I got rid of that advert. There's an advert playing. But yeah, a number of health organisations, including Bill Gates, which is very suspicious, is offering, you know, money and donations to fund a vaccine, when the likelihood is, if this is a bioweapon or something like that, there's probably already a vaccine. And I don't know about you, but I don't really want to get injected by a live watered down version of the coronavirus, do you? Nah, I don't think so. I don't know what the next phase of this agenda will be. It could be to push a vaccine. Certainly in China they would push mandatory vaccine, no problem, because currently right now they're actually, I've seen them weld people into their houses, you know, they've got welding kits and they weld these metal bits over the doors so they can't get in or out, and people in China are objecting. And they're saying, what if there's a fire, you know, like what if there's a fire and I can't get out my own house? and what they're saying is like, oh, well, just make sure you don't set any fires. I've actually seen a video where that's said in it, with a good couple of Chinese people. And you see a lot of it is people getting dragged, kicked and screamed. One woman even got her neck broken. I'm not even joking. Like, police were trying to get her into some kind of medical quarantine van, and she was, you know, struggling against it, and they literally broke her neck. And I don't know if it was on purpose or whether it was accidental, but yeah, it was horrendous. And this is happening quite a lot, you know, and different kind of methods, you know. You see people getting chased down the street as well, you know, they're running away from, you know, people that are trying to take them into quarantine. And Brother Will says, I've never even had a regular flu shot. Yeah, and me neither. And you can go pretty much anywhere and get that done now. It's like they're doing it in supermarkets. Come in here and buy your bread and eggs, and, you know, get injected by some vaccines. Platinum Brunette says China is an unarmed populace. Yeah, well, apart from the gangsters, I suppose, in it, but yeah, because you got the triad gangs over there, aren't you? Rai says, I've had emergency message for local doctors saying don't come in if you've been to China and got sick. Yeah, they're starting to roll that out. Oh, hey V-Power 00. No, it's not 007, is it? It's just 07. Hey V-Power, hey sis. Greetings from your sister in Christ in the USA. Staying prayed up in 2020. Amen, sis. So, yeah, RSE, they definitely are churning out the precautionary measures now in the UK, aren't they? They're trying to get people to take precautions now. You know, I keep seeing messages on official websites and all that things now, like the NHS website. Even on Twitter, if you go to your homepage on Twitter, no, it's not a homepage, is it? If you search coronavirus in the search bar, you will see Twitter will have this message ready and waiting for you at the top about, you know, health information and all that kind of things. Joe Chris 72 says a few quarantine camps have been set up around Australia, e.g. Christmas Island. Really? I haven't heard that, but yeah, it doesn't surprise me. How many cases is in Australia? Does anybody know? You know? AJ Brunt. Proverbs 3:5-6 is the key to life. Yeah. Post the scripture if you want, AJ. So let's just do a research. Corona. These one. Yeah, you see Department of Health and Social Care, DHSC Gov UK. So you can click on there, you know, it's like it's everywhere now. What's this tweet saying? According to the World Health Organization, the number of coronavirus cases in China is stabilizing, but it's too early to conclude that the outbreak has peaked. Over 40,000 cases of infections, and oh, look at this, they're saying 910 deaths have been confirmed now. If that's accurate, it probably is, because, you know, you do get quite a few updates. Normally about every couple of hours there's an update on the numbers. I mean, have you seen some of the videos where they're spraying the streets? Have you seen that? They're just basically rolling down the streets in these big trucks, and they've got, on the back of the trucks, they've got what can only be described as a disinfectant cannon. You know, it's like this giant cannon, and it just throws out some kind of disinfection, or I don't know what it is, alcohol or bleach. I mean, I don't know. If you have Christ consciousness, why even bother spreading the mainstream fear porn? I'm over with it. I have to go. I cannot listen to any more corona nonsense. Well, no worries, Wonka Vision. Thanks for coming, mate. I'll see you next time. God bless you. But why? I'm not spreading anything really. I'm just informing some people about things they might not know about. If you think it's fake, then that's up to you. But from what I've seen in China, through people posting from China, posting videos, posting their testimonies of what's going on, I don't think it's fake. And to be quite honest, the mainstream media are not pushing this as something to be scared of. They're actually doing the opposite. They're playing it, they're downplaying it. And China are definitely downplaying it, because I think more than buried truth is Christ consciousness. Yeah, it's a bit new agey, but that's right, buried in truth is a seed. Christ consciousness, yeah. I think probably what I hope what he means is the mind of Christ. That's probably a more biblical term, isn't it? Will Redden says a giant can of Lysol. Yeah, I've seen that Lysol can kill coronavirus. In the UK, I don't. It's Dettol, isn't it? In the UK, they got it on the back of the bottle. Coronavirus. But the thing is, the coronavirus is all different types, isn't there? And this one's apparently new, so they've never seen it transmitted to humans before. Joe Chris says, article from 2 days ago claims 15 diagnosed in Australia. Yeah, that's quite a bit more. Here in the UK, I think there's only 3, but I believe there's actually more British people potentially have it. You know, they've been in China and now they're back here, like Rise was saying earlier. They're saying that they're brought back to Milton Keynes. I've also heard the fact that the guy who came back from Singapore, but before he came back to Britain, he went to France and apparently infected 5 people over there in France at some ski resort. So, you know, the thing about this virus is that, like, it's contagious while it's incubating. So anybody that's caught the virus, like, now, you won't know until a few weeks go past. But yeah, so guys, if you're just coming into the stream, I'd just like to tell you about this whole live stream is to promote the website that I've got now. This is now up and running. You can go here, you can click on the homepage, and if you scroll down the bottom, scroll right down the bottom past the blog and join the mailing list. See what it says here, join the mailing list, stick your email in there, hit subscribe now, and you'll be in with a chance to win a 3-month membership to the website. It's a competition. So if you want to become a member, you can become a member for free, or you can use the big subscribe button to support the channel directly rather than through YouTube or Patreon. And if you have a PayPal account, that will use your PayPal account. And if you don't have a PayPal account and you want to use your debit card, there are other ways to support the channel. If you want to come here to Patreon, you can support the channel here through Patreon, and you'll get this basically the same stuff as you would get at the website. And if you want to contact me, you can use the contact page. There's a number of ways to get in touch. You can find me on Discord. You can come and join the community there, by the way. If you become a member, you can come over and chat to us and everybody else in there. You can find me on Facebook. I've got an email address here, runtochristlive@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter, as you will just see in my Twitter page there, and you can use this contact form to get in touch and ask me whatever you like, and just fill that in and send it as it says there. And when you remember, you can check out our archive. This is basically an archive of research files that I've been collecting for the past since I've been making videos or whatever. And if you remember, you can upload your own as well. So whatever you've been researching, you can come and share it with the community. You can just come here. There's a whole bunch of stuff up there right now, and there's more being added because I've got absolutely loads, and I get lost sometimes with the amount of stuff that I've got. So yeah, so you can just come here, upload your files and whatever else. And I do have a good idea for the soundtracks, guys. if I get the support that I need for this website, I'm going to come out with soundtracks for the community. The people who make videos like me, they can come here and they can get sound effects or music for their videos, and it'll be like, you know, copyright free and stuff like that. You can use it in your projects, whatever it is that you're doing. So yeah, come over here, check out the homepage, join the mailing list, and you'll be on with a chance for winning a 3 months membership. So that'd be cool. Thanks very much for your support. I appreciate it very much. So you might have seen in the chat already, we've got quite a big YouTuber in here, Rise. You probably all sub to him. If you aren't, go sub to him, because his videos are amazing. You go watch them. He's got tons and tons of content over there. I'm sure you're probably all subscribed. VPower says, just say no to coronavirus vaccines. Yeah, you're right. Platinum Brunette says, so glad you're back on video. Yeah, me too. Will says, certainly not in fear. The victory has already been won for us. Amen. VPower's applauding for the website. Thanks, sis. So yeah, Badger says, I love the soundtrack sharing idea. Yeah, I like that as well, you know. Especially, you know, because I actually need that kind of thing as well. You know. So yeah, so what I've got over, if you go to the videos page, okay, if you come over to the videos page, there's going to be a bunch of stuff here. You can watch Rise's videos here as well as on his YouTube page, and you can click this button to subscribe direct to him. And also there's the Hour of the Truth. I don't know if you know that channel, but it's Joggler66. He has got tons of content on there that's all about history of the Jesuits and history of Christianity and things that happened in the Reformation. Just tons and tons of content over there, and I'm going to add more YouTubers in the future, you know, like people that I like, people like David Wood, people, I don't know if you've heard of Vocab Malone, and another guy who I really like, right, is Sam Shamoon. Don't know if you've heard of him, but he's really good. I've been watching a lot of his stuff recently, so I'll probably put him up in this page, because his stuff is really, really, really fascinating. If you like following, you know, threads in the Bible, you can go subscribe to Sam. I'll get his channel up. Yeah, Shamoonian, he's called it, right? Sam Shamoon. He's from Assyria. Yeah, Assyria. Go check out his channel. He's got lots of Bible studies, live streams. He normally does live streams, and he's very, very good. Go check him out. I'm pretty sure you all know David Wood and that, don't you? Acts 17. Yeah, you probably already know David, but he does a lot of work in countering Islam, so go check out his videos if you don't know who he is, because he is really brilliant. He's did a series called Muhammad's Boom Boom Room. You probably should check that out. And he's also did Islamicize Me, where it's like a it's like a kind of comedy. They did, him and a bunch of his friends, and it's like two atheist guys who get challenged to join Islam for 30 days, and you know, there's like 20 episodes or something. You should check that out. It's pretty good. Oh, excuse me. So guys, any questions? Always Serving says good night, Godspeed, God bless you. Always Serving, thanks for coming. Buried Truth is the seed. Say, be blessed in his name, brothers and sisters. Good night and God bless to you as well. Badger says, I love Sam Shamoon, Vocab Malone, and the whole David crew. David Wood, Hater Wood, yeah. AJ says, my dad got permission from the Christian parody band Apologetics to use their music. Oh yeah, Apologetics, yeah. What is the song called? The Daniel one. It cracks me up. Yeah, Bad Cat. Boom Boom Room, that comes from Rubber Bandits. Joker says, yes, I love Act 17 and Friends. Muslim hate Christian Prince especially. Yeah, they do. I know they do. So guys, I think I'm going to wrap things up right now. So thanks very much for coming. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and don't forget to come on the website and check it out. Leave your email in the mailing list here, and you get a chance to win a free membership. And if you don't want to wait until you find out if you win or not, you can click subscribe here on this big giant red button and subscribe to support the channel directly. I'd really appreciate it, and I'd keep this channel going full time. And without the interference of YouTube, we're going to have a lot of stuff on here. And basically the shackles are off, the gloves are off. I don't need to be worrying about, you know, can I use this 10-second clip or whatever, you know, are they going to flag it and then ban me or things like that. And that's what this website is for. It's for to come over here and basically do whatever we want, and I'm really looking forward to it. So thank you all for coming. God bless you all. Keep everybody in your prayers, your brothers and sisters around the world. There's a little girl that's sick right now. She's really having lots of operations. I don't know if you've heard of her on social media, but she's called Ellie, and if you guys could pray for her, that would really be awesome. And pray for me too, and pray for each other. God bless you all in Jesus' name. Okay, I'll see you next time, guys, because I'll be doing more videos now. So the next time I'll see you will be on the first video that's released, probably on the website, so you might want to bookmark it, but I will let people know through other mediums and social media, you know, like Twitter. Go follow me on Twitter and download the app from the website, and you can have all the notifications. You'll never miss a thing. Thanks guys, God bless you, and that's it for me. I'm Run to Christ. I'll see you all on the next one.